We driving, but y'all gonna catch this message. Okay, what is hoodoo? I'm gonna give you my definition, all right? So it has been called a religion, and yes, because a collective group of people with practices and beliefs, and they all have a similar goal. But at the same time, I can't say that every hoodoo practitioner has the same goal. To me, I believe it's a practice, a way of life, a way of being. I even call it my own spiritual hygiene. Once I opened up my eyesight, my third eye, to what was already in my bloodline, child, it was on. Now, it can be very closely compared, or you notice there's a lot of similarities between hoodoo and witchcraft. Well, my own personal channeled insight about that is, you remember my girl Tituba, the Salem witch trials? She was doing her thing, and then she taught others her thing, or they watched her thing and tried to study her thing, and then they went and did their thing. So in America, you know what I'm saying, that is it is a very fine line. This is my personal opinion, don't come for me. There is definitely a fine line, but would I call myself a witch? No. Would I say that I'm a hoodoo practitioner? Yes. So there's nothing wrong with witches. I love my witches. I rock with my witches. Shout out to my witches. I know a bunch of witches. How y'all doing? But me in particular, when I say I'm a witch, no. Could you say that? I guess I'm not going to be offended, because I do have certain respect for witches, now that we got that out the way. So hoodoo is a African American traditional practice, way of being, religion, way of life, all of those, some of those, mixed fusion of all of that is hoodoo. Yes. And so I personally practice hoodoo for myself and for my family and for my community. And through those practices include spiritual hygiene. So this one's a 2-for-1. In the morning when I wake up, things I do before I even interact with other people, and then the things I do throughout the day, and then how I close the day are all a part of my hoodoo practice. For example, in the morning, I wake up, I thank my RE, I thank my higher self, I thank my ancestors, my guide, my spirit team. I call back my energy. I'll leave that probably in the comments how I do that, or you're going to have to join my Patreon to find that one out. And then I also say a prayer to my higher self, thanking my higher self, asking for guidance from self to make the right decision, so that I don't fall to, people will tell you anything. All right, you don't want to fall for anything. You don't want people to tell you anything, and then you just running around in these streets believing everything. You need discernment. You need your own guide. You need your own guidance, your own inner knowing. Okay, so I ask for my Ori, for my higher self, to be on point, to keep me sharp, to be able to call out BS when BS is glaring in my face, and to recognize when something is for me, so that I don't let things pass me by. Okay, these are all things that came into me once I started practicing often, because spiritual attacks are real. People will try to come for you, okay? People will try to come for your relationship, your home, your car, your family, the things that you own, your job, your money, just because they don't got it. There ain't no other reason. There's nothing wrong with you. They just don't got it, and that makes them mad. Okay, so with that information, what we do is we protect ourselves. So throughout the day, there's prayers, meditation, lots of guided meditation. And another thing I'm going to add in, another tidbit I'm going to add in, check your blood type, okay? Because your blood type will help you in your manifestation as well. And that's going to be a video I definitely upload to my Patreon for my priestesses. But anyway, let's get back on track with the hoodoo, okay? So, practices, way of being, things that you do, spiritual cleanses, baths, smoke cleanses, anointings, clearing of the house, clearing of your energy, regularly clearing your energy, regular dedication to prayer and meditation, spiritual hygiene, just like you brush your teeth every day, wash your face, take a shower. You have got to make sure that you embody all that is of you. And as a hoodoo practitioner, that means that I have to protect myself at all times. There are people that just hate the fact that I'm able to do what I can do, and they want to do it too. And instead of just figuring out how to learn or tap into their own unique gifts, they much rather just throw hate and shade onto you. That's what you need to protect, okay? So it was a way of being. Hoodoo was a way of life. Imagine you were taken, from your native country, okay? And then you were told, this is what you got to practice, this is what you got to do, this is what you got to believe. But at the same time, the other day when you woke up where you were originally from, that's not the way life was. And so now all of a sudden you've got these practices, these gods, these things you're not supposed to do, don't do this. You can't even speak your own language. It was a way for Black Africans that were taken from their native places, and it was a way to still continue their ways of life, their way of being, and their practices. If you look into it, hoodoo does have a strong correlation with Christianity. Some of the practices, there are a lot of saints, a lot of deities and entities that correlate with Christianity. And the Psalms is all up in hoodoo. The Bible is used in hoodoo as well, because these were great ways to basically hide whatever it is that you were trying to do. Honestly, don't come for me, but the stories are very similar, okay? If you look at the inception, the creation stories in many of these books, they're all the same, okay? The characters change, but the energy is still there. So, you know, working with the Bible, they were probably like, oh, look, this ain't nothing but ultra perm. This is this, okay? So I'm not making light of a very heavy situation. I want to get to why it's important for you to get into your practice today. Okay, because in no way, shape, form, or fashion am I making light of the situation that our ancestors went through. But in today, we don't have the same adversary as hard, because we still have the same adversary. It's just not as hard, all right? In many ways and stages, we have made progress, right? Shout out to lots of people that we see on television and public eye doing their thing in politics. How you doing? Okay, so it's given us an opportunity to see these things now, but of yesterday, that was not the case. Okay, you cannot, there were very few, I'm not gonna say you cannot, there were very few people of power that were of color. So this was a way to retain our beliefs, our culture, our practices, and not lose it. Now, is it the same as voodoo? No. All respect to my people that do voodoo. Shout out to y'all. And you will never hear me come for anybody that practices voodoo. I got much respect. And honestly, I might even keep my mouth closed when somebody that does voodoo comes around, because that's how much discernment I have. That's how much respect I have for myself, because I believe in give the energy that you want back, right? So if I were to know that someone was a practitioner of voodoo, you got the juice. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no trouble. The sky is purple. You're absolutely right. Because ooh, those powers, baby. But I'm gonna stick to hoodoo practices and belief, way of life, spiritual hygiene, and making a way through adversity when there was no way. Belief system, faith, trust, hope. This is what hoodoo means to me. And it is an honoring of my ancestors. It is an honoring of, it is a way to honor my ancestral blood in my body and pay respect to those who have come before me. And I have an ancestor altar. I'll dive into what that's about. And I even ask my ancestors for assistance. And this is all through my hoodoo practices. I sit in meditation and they tell me which ancestor can help me this. Sometimes I might know them, sometimes I may not, but I am divinely guided. I'm told this information for a reason, and it is through my practice. So if you feel like, and also I'm going to say this too, there are hoodoo practitioners everywhere. You can be an herbal hoodoo practitioner who never lights a candle, but you in that kitchen making those meals, always stirring that pot to the right, manifesting, calling it in, okay? So you could be in, you could have religious beliefs, okay? I've seen people of all different denominations, all different races, not even black, not even melanated, practicing hoodoo. They on TikTok giving secrets and tips. So if anybody tries to come for anything that I say about hoodoo, check yourself, okay? Because there is somebody with a head wrap on that ain't got no melanin in their system, and they want to tell you what hoodoo is about too, okay? Hoodoo is your birthright. That's what hoodoo is, okay? Hoodoo is something that can be practiced by anyone who believes that there's unfairness and you can fix it. And that's why I say that the witch and the hoodoo practitioner, the root worker, they can be seen very closely, right? Because working with roots, working with herbs, roots being things that grow, herbs, things like that. Working with waters, working with fire. That ain't nothing but ultra perm, okay? So I definitely do see that, but it is a matter of saying, I'm going to co-create my own reality. God showed me this, spirit showed me this, ancestors, angels, guides, my source showed me this. Now I'm going to use the elements, the things that I know, to make whatever desired outcome be the case. Okay, for example, if you want to get it, I use hoodoo to get my kids into their first choices of magnet schools. Okay, I live where the school system is not the best, and I understood that taking the time to be, you know, really give to about what school they went to was important. So I put the school's name down, and for like 2 weeks before the application process, during the application process, and right before the lottery, I lit candles, wrote petitions in regards to my kids getting into their first choices, and they both did. For sure. I manifested the house that I'm in. I don't know how long y'all been rocking with me, but your girl moved out here, moved into a big old house. Then COVID hit, that didn't work, and then I wasn't on my practices. I wasn't on my game. My spiritual hygiene fell off because things were falling off. Once that happened, I lost that house. I moved into De La Ghetto for sure, okay? And then I manifested myself way up on out of there through my spiritual practices, through my hoodoo practices. So you can co-create your reality through your discipline, through your regimen, through your routines, through your rituals, through your practices. It's just a matter of you stepping up and activating it, you believing in yourself, you not being in victim mode, and realizing that you can co-create your reality because it's your life. Okay, you don't have to be victim or do anything the way anybody else says. That's why I said this is what hoodoo means to me. Okay, and if it resonates with you, and if it sounds something different than what you might have heard before, that's beneficial too, because you might feel like, oh, it's demonic, it's this, that, and the third. I don't worship no demons. And if you feel that 1 minute someone that you loved ever so dearly that was in the earth form then crosses over and then becomes a demon, then something's wrong with you, then you don't need to be here. Okay, it's a matter of me honoring those whose blood runs through me. And you know, I can't just forget those people just because they crossed over. And I don't believe that they don't want the best for me just because they crossed over. So with that is where I picked up my hoodoo practices. It built my faith. It built trust in self and trust in who I am. It helped me get a purpose, figure out why. I had already been a mother of 2 kids. I still didn't feel like I had a purpose. And my purpose is to make sure that they live the life that they truly deserve, that they live a life that my ancestors could never even imagine, and that I'm able to curate it through the things that I'm able to do. Ashe, amen. Okay, so if that resonates with you, if you feel like you're ready to co-create your reality and you don't want to step out into something that's too heavy, hoodoo is the practice for you, because you're probably already doing it and you don't even realize it. If you threw rice at a wedding, hoodoo. Okay, putting particular herbs in your food, hoodoo. Repast after a funeral, hoodoo. Okay, you know, you have the funeral and everyone's together, then afterwards everybody goes to eat and they tell stories and they pour libations and everyone's drinking and they're remembering the person who just passed, hoodoo. It's time to co-create your reality. Don't be a victim. No more victim mindset. No more woe is me, why did this happen to me? It happened to you so that you could step the F up. It's time to do some things. You didn't come here to be, you know, at the mercy of other people. You came here to be great. Now let's do that. Okay, now I'm gonna give you this tidbit. Where to start? Look at the days of the week. Look at where you are in your life. Connect with those that are the closest to you that passed away at least over a year, and pray. Ask for sight. Ask for clarity. Ask for what it is that you should be doing next. If things aren't going right, ask for guidance. Okay, and wait for the answer. Okay, now listen, because I know that some of y'all, I hear it. Because even JC waited 3 days, right? We had to see his miracle 3 days. Now, I ain't going to be Bible toting, but I do work with the Psalms. And it has been said that even the big JC needed 3 days for his miracle to work. So don't just be thinking that, oh, I prayed Wednesday, it's Friday, where's my manifestation? It don't work like that. You got to be diligent every single day. You've got to be consistent. And like I said, that spiritual hygiene. Are you praying? Are you clearing your energy? Are you removing other people's negative energy up off you? Are you focused? Are you clear on what it is that you want? Do all of that. regularly and watch hoodoo change your life. Okay, now I can't say it's gonna hit like it hit for me, especially if you're not working with me, but hoodoo will definitely open your world, because there are a lot of root workers, the people that do this of service to their community, like myself. Reach out to them and watch the assistance, watch you grow, watch what else you can do once you kind of get like, you know, some steps, because everyone's practice could look different. It could look similar and it could look different, but we all have that same common goal, because depending on what country you're from, your practices might be a little bit different. Depending on what plantation your ancestors wound up on, your practice might be different too. So at the end of the day, as long as we have that same common goal to F things up or have things work in our favor, we all gonna be good. The birds were that confirmation. And I'm super grateful for being able to deliver this message and share this message with anybody that needs to hear it. If you wanna go on this journey, you don't wanna do it alone, I offer Tikis High Priestess group. It's a unique place, a safe space for women who are ready to things up. Okay, when enough is enough, it's up and it's stuck, and that's where Tikis High Priestess group will meet you. But I offer accountability coaching, so much more. Just go ahead and check it out. I'm going to leave it just below there for you, so you can connect and grow and build your confidence and build your spiritual practice so that you can live a life peaceful and on purpose. All right, y'all take care, stay well, bye.